Okay, gang, this is polynomial dividing. So lesson one, we're going to use long division. Okay, so our question is, how do we use long division to divide polynomials? Okay, so here we go. So let's use long division from our grade school skills that you guys loved so much. We're going to divide this 3-digit number divided by a 2-digit number. Do you remember doing that? Okay, so let's go through it because it's the exact same process that we do with the polynomials. So 12 goes into 27. We'll focus on those two numbers 2 times, okay? And then what do we do with that 2? We multiply 2 times 12, and we write it right underneath here. Do you remember doing that? Okay, and then what do we do, you guys? Okay, then we subtract, okay? And then when we subtract, we get 3. What's next? Okay, we slide down the next number. Now doing polynomials, we do the exact same procedure, okay? And then we do it again. 12 goes into 37 3 times, and 12 times 3 is 36, and then we subtract. Okay, so this, how do we write this number? There's a couple of ways, but in this lesson, we're going to write it as a mixed number. So we start at the top and then go clockwise. So 23 and 1/12. Do you remember doing that? Okay. All right, so now you don't worry about these names right here. You don't have to write that down, but they sure drilled it in that was the divisor. This one was the quotient right there. This is the dividend right there. Does those ring a bell right there? And then, of course, what's this called? That's called the remainder, okay? All right, so just note, you guys, that 23 and 1/12 is the same as 23 plus 1/12, and we're going to write our polynomial answers like this right here, okay? So we do the exact same procedure. So let's go ahead and divide this 4th degree polynomial divided by this quadratic right here. So this goes on the outside, this goes on the inside. Now notice there's no x squared in there, so we need to insert a 0x squared right there. You see that right there? Because it'll appear, so we need it there for the spacing. It'll appear in the problem as soon as we start doing this. Okay, so how we do this is we focus on these guys. X squared times what gives us 3x to the 4th? So this guy times what gives us this guy, and that's what we write up here. So x squared times 3x squared will give us 3x to the 4th right there. Then we multiply this 3x squared times this whole thing, just like we did. We multiplied that 2 times 12 right there, okay? Let's go ahead and multiply that, okay? So I did that down here. So 3x squared times this whole guy, we distribute the 3x squared times x squared is 3x to the 4th. 3x squared times negative 3x is negative 9x cubed. 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. So that's what I wrote right there. All right, and then we wrap that thing in parentheses and we subtract. You have to subtract every little piece. So this minus sign gets distributed through right there. Okay, so 3x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th, they're gone. Okay, negative 5x cubed minus a minus 9x cubed becomes negative 5x cubed plus 9x cubed. Okay, which is what, 4x cubed, and then this is going to give us negative 15x squared. Okay, so there it is right there. Okay, then we bring down the next guy right there. So we slide that down just like we did with that what was it, a 7, I believe. Okay, now we do it all over again. We focus on this guy and this guy now, and we ask ourselves, x squared times what gives us 4x cubed? Okay, x squared times 4x will give us 4x cubed. So that's what we'll put right up on top right there. And then we multiply 4x times this whole guy right there. So it goes right there. Okay. And then so I did that down here, so I get, we would just distribute the 4x through the trinomial, just like we did before, and we get this trinomial. Okay, and then we wrap that guy in parentheses and subtract. Okay, so here we go. All right, so 4x cubed minus 4x cubed, they're gone. Negative 15x squared minus a minus 12x squared becomes negative 15 plus 12, which is negative 3x squared. And then 4x minus 20x is a negative 16x, okay? Now we focus on on this guy and this guy right here. Oh, I'm sorry, we got to slide this next guy down right there. We'll just slide that down, and then we focus on that right there, okay? X squared times what gives us negative 3x squared? X squared times negative 3. Then we multiply, okay? So here we go. We're going to multiply that negative 3 times this whole thing, okay? So negative 3 times that trinomial gives us that right there. Then we wrap it in parentheses and we subtract, okay? All right, so those guys cancel. Negative 16 minus 9 is negative 25. Negative 6 minus a minus 15 is negative 6 plus 15, which is plus 9. Okay, now let's go back to see how we answered. Our answer is with these guys right here. Remember in the other one we had I think it was 23, and then we had the 1 here and the 12 here. Do you remember how we wrote that answer right there? We're going to write it like this: the top plus the remainder divided by our divisor right there. So here it is right there. So we start at the top and then go clockwise. It's this plus the remainder divided by what we were dividing by. So there's our answer right there. All right, let's try another one here, you guys. I know you had fun with that. Okay, so here we're going to put the x minus 2 on the outside and the third degree equation inside, okay? And then so x times x squared gives us that x cubed, and then we multiply the x squared times the x minus 2. Okay, and we get that. And then we do parentheses and we subtract, okay? And then so x cubed minus x cubed, they're gone. 5x squared minus a minus 2x squared is 5x squared plus 2x squared, which is 7x squared. Slide the next guy down, and then we do it again. X times what gives us 7x squared, okay? So x times 7x gives us 7x squared. Then we multiply that 7x times the x minus 2, and we get 7x squared minus 14. Parentheses, subtract, okay? So here we go. These guys cancel. Negative 7 minus a minus 14 is negative 7 plus 14. Looks like we have company. My dogs are barking. And then we slide the next number down, and then we do it again. So x times what gives us 7x, okay? X times 7 gives us 7x, and then we multiply, okay? And then we subtract, and we get 0 on this, okay? So our answer is just that top piece right there. There is no remainder, okay? And all that means, you guys, is this ends up being, if you get a remainder of 0, then it says that this is a factor of this, okay? And we'll talk more about that in the next lesson. Okay, if you're in my class, that would be your assignment. And then in the directions, you guys, there's 3 sentences. I just want you to do the first one and do what we did in this lesson right here. And these are your remainders to kind of give you a hint that you're on the right track. All right, you guys, take care.